This panel is a tribute to Adam Baldwin and his career, and about the first 10-15 minutes is going to be everything but Firefly Serenity, and then heavy-duty Firefly Serenity. So, and we'll have some fun trivia at the end. If you don't know me, I'm probably best known for the documentary film Done the Impossible that Adam hosted. I was also a background extra in the movie, and I've done a lot of other stuff. And William is a genius graphic designer, Utah Browncoats guy. So let's get started. So we obviously know what this panel is called. Adam Baldwin was actually named TV Guide's Sexiest Newcomer in 2005, even though he started his acting career in 1980. That just shows you how quick Hollywood is sometimes. He's done over 45 films, 57 TV series, and 7 video games, and no, we are not talking about all of them, thank goodness. Whoops. And quote from Adam, "It was never the fame or fortune that drove me to act. It was something I love, and I enjoy doing it. A lot of people identify who they are by what they do, and that's not me. It's what I do, but not who I am. Who I am is a parent. I'm a family man." Yeah, I really want to give you guys a perspective, and me too. I learned so much about Adam making this. When Adam was a child, his father took him to the theater to see westerns on a regular basis. This is where his love for film began, and he's had a serious interest in acting since he was in the 5th grade. "It's great to be able to pretend you're tough but funny at the same time. Dry humor. These guys I grew up with, my cinematic heroes, have always been men of few words, but of action. Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach." And this slide is to remind us that Adam seems to frequently take 2 types of roles. Either a suit role or an army jacket role. And just something to keep in mind as we're going through this. So we all should know My Bodyguard. Love this show.
It's the first green army jacket that he dons for a film, and not the last.
He was Ricky Linderman, came out in 1980, and the basic premise, if you haven't seen it, kid in school is being bullied and he needs a bodyguard, so hey, who better than Adam Baldwin? And there you see Adam and a very, very young Matt Dillon and Chris Makepeace. Whoops. I'm not going to go back, sorry. That's the exciting winning feel-good end shot. It's actually funny, in 2008, he parodied, Adam acted in Drillbit Taylor with Owen Wilson and parodied his character from My Bodyguard. So that was kind of cool to see it come back like that. And then, of course, we have Full Metal Jacket from Stanley Kubrick. And that came out in 1987. For some reason, I thought it came out earlier, but 1987. He played Animal Mother, and he was age 23 when he played this part. And if you haven't seen it, it's split into 2 segments. The first half follows some recruits in boot camp, and the last half shows those recruits covering the war and lots of blood and fighting. Matthew Modine is also in it. And this is Adam talking. "What I try to do is appreciate every job I have while I'm working on it. Kubrick taught me that. He said I wasn't patient enough. We were a bunch of cocky young actors. Hey, we're in a Kubrick film. We've made it. We were big, arrogant, fat-headed idiots in green fatigues. Kubrick showed me you should appreciate what you have while you have it." And next we have Predator 2. And what can I say about Predator 2? It was Predator 2. And now there's another young Adam. And he played a character by the name of Garber. That came out in 1990. Moving right along, we have Independence Day, which I really loved at the time. It's a kind of a fun, campy film. Came out in 96 and plays opposite Will Smith. His character was Major Mitchell. And of course, he's a tough guy with a gun. And I didn't realize he was in The Patriot with Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger in 2000.
Wearing, I believe, another green coat?
Yes. Yeah, this is a Revolutionary War film. He played Captain Wilkins. And Mel Gibson's character recruits volunteers to take up arms against the British. I guess, would this be one of Adam's more sophisticated debonair roles? It sort of looks that way from the photo, but...
It's another government job in uniform, so it still follows the type.
Yeah, it does.
Taking orders from the man or not taking orders at all.
It
it's one of the
a
other.
little extra pretty in this photo.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking that. And he was in the X-Files.
I was actually a huge fan of the X-Files when it was on, but I didn't watch the last 2 seasons. So recently on Netflix, I'm watching it, and suddenly, Adam Baldwin. So I watched every episode since that point, non-stop, back to back.
Unfortunately, we only had Adam for 5 episodes in this.
Yeah.
And his character was, and I'm going to butcher this name, Noli Rohrer, and he didn't originally audition for that part. He read for the part of John Doggett that Robert Patrick played, but they liked him so much they offered him this other character. And he was an Angel. And this was season 5, 2004. And Adam is one of 3 actors, along with Nathan Fillion and Gina Torres, to cross over to Buffy or Angel after Firefly was canceled. Didn't know that. And that's his character right there. He was Marcus Hamilton, the new liaison to the senior partners. Now, how many of you have heard of The Inside? Wow, one person.
One hand.
I guess 3,
hands?
maybe 4 if we count us.
Yeah.
This was such a good detective series. It was Fox, of course, 2005. It was a psychological thriller. Rachel Nichols was an FBI agent working with the Violent Crimes Unit in LA. And she was really able to enter the criminal mind. She had a lot of insight because of some childhood trauma.
Now, a lot of you didn't hear about Firefly when it was on the air, so Inside is your version of Firefly and not hearing about it. Fox does this to us a lot, so if you're in the fandom long enough, you'll eventually find a show that people love that you haven't heard of yet.
And this is interesting, too. This also only lasted 13 episodes.
13 episodes.
The magic unlucky number of deaths of Fox. But I encourage you, I don't know if it ever made it to DVD. It seems like you can find it out there, but it's really a great series, all the characters. Daybreak is another one I hadn't heard of. I thought, wow, this is cool. Came out in 2007. Lasted, how many episodes, everyone? 13. Good guess. Yeah, it lasted 13 episodes. Probably, actually, I didn't look that up.
Somebody Google that while we're here.
Yeah, he played Chad Shelton, and the premise is a detective is accused of shooting a state attorney, and when he realizes he's been framed, he goes on the run. But then he wakes up and starts the day all over again. So it's sort of a sci-fi-ish police action show. Pretty cool, but 13 episodes. And Adam, not surprisingly, is actually Superman. At least in the DC Universe Superman Doomsday that came out in 2007. And Adam has also voiced over many video games, like Mass Effect 2, Halo 3, ODST, and Half-Life 2, but he's done a bunch of other ones.
He actually has more credits on IMDb than any of the other cast members from Firefly.
Now, I would guess you've all heard of Chuck, right? So, thank goodness Fox was not in charge of this one. It actually lasted 5 seasons because it was good, and started in 2007. And he plays NSA agent John Casey, of course. And
one of the rare roles where he's working for the man and against the man.
Yeah, a bit, actually. And he plays opposite Yvonne Strahovski and Zachary Levi, or Zach. He's the guy that has the Nerd HQ big event that goes on at Comic-Con San Diego every year. It's a great event, too. And Adam with the gun. Surprise, surprise. Most of the fight scenes, I try to stay away from the high falls, and any explosion work, I'll stand clear. I don't really like fire and impact. I would have to agree. Yeah, I love Adam's face on that one. It's hard to sell tough and funny, and that's what I'm trying to get better at doing, and this role affords that opportunity. Plus, it's fun. It's silly. It's goofy. And then there's this hard edge, and then it goes back to silly and goofiness. Good description. I thought this was cool because Adam actually gets to work with tech in this show and not just fire guns and beat up people. So that photo was a nice reminder of that. And he gets to wear lots of different cool outfits. I love this quote. This quote you're about to see is from Adam's wife. My wife has a joke where whenever I come home from an audition, she'll say, "Did they ask how tall you are?" If the answer is yes, she knows immediately I didn't get the job. And a few quotes in Chuck I thought were interesting. So in Chuck versus the Sensei, Casey tells Chuck, "You were damaging my calm," which of course is a parody in Serenity where Jayne says of River that she's starting to damage my calm. And then another Firefly reference in Chuck versus the Crown Vic. "Well, she sure is shiny," referring to the car. Casey says, "Yeah, she's shiny." And yes, we do love Castle, and we love Nathan too. So Castle, this was in 2012. He was Detective Ethan Slaughter, and of course, he has a reputation for roughhousing suspects and informants, because that's what he does. Yeah, they both look a little crazy out. The cool thing I didn't know was the brown coat you see Adam wearing. Well, Nathan actually gave him that coat when he got this part. So kind of a fun little inside love gift from one actor to another. And this is a photo they tweeted. I just love this with the characters. "Whoa, shouldn't we call for backup? You got a skirt that says Ryder on it too?" Funny and sassy, I love it. And Adam, of course, is highly employable because he's awesome, which is why this is a brand new series, The Last Ship, based on a book by William Brinkley on TNT. It is still filming. They've produced 9 episodes, and it looks pretty darn cool. It is on a ship, and the premise, when a pandemic kills off most of the Earth's population, the crew of a naval destroyer is forced to confront the reality of a new existence. Now, there is a trailer on this you can see online. I haven't seen any episodes. I don't know if anyone's seen any episodes yet, but I'm really hopeful. And Adam's really excited about it too, of course. And I'm sorry, this is the point in the show when there's a slight transition.
Yeah, costume change. How's it sit? It's pretty cunning. That's a cunning hat.
Yeah, I like that.
If Brian walks down the street.
So, Firefly. How many of you saw Firefly when it was on the air? You beat the Fox odds. That's pretty good. I know a lot of people saw Serenity first and they feel really let down or stupid or something, but...
Yeah, who saw the movie first? Confession. Okay.
Don't feel bad. It's just like seeing Empire before Star Wars, but, you know...
How many of you saw the movie? How many of you saw the movie and didn't know there was a series for a while until a while after? Yeah.
So it's hard to believe that this show we love so much actually came out in 2002. And Adam, of course, plays Jayne Cobb. Actually, I guess we should ask, has anyone not seen Firefly or Serenity? 3 sad
Yeah, we're sorry. There's going to be a lot of spoilers in a few minutes.
I'm sorry. There might be spoilers, but the thing is, I think we're all secretly jealous of you because you get to experience this for the first time. But do the right thing. See Firefly first, please. It's actually so much better. I love this show. So it is on Netflix and it is on Blu-ray too.
If you're going to watch it on Netflix for the first time, start at 8 o'clock in the morning, not 8 o'clock at night. So your boss doesn't yell at you the next day, because you'll watch at least 6 episodes a sitting. So that's 2 sittings for those at home.
So Adam actually won a Sci-Fi Genre Award in 2006 for Best Supporting Actor as Jayne Cobb. Very cool. I love that shot. I had just been trying to do Warren Oates from The Wild Bunch meets Eli Wallach from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Those are great Western guys I was trying to impersonate. I just always approached it as a Western with that sensibility. You can shoot someone in the back and rationalize it because you're out on the frontier and survival of the fittest. No honor among thieves. If it was up to Joss to infuse him with a little bit of heart of gold and honor for Mal, for the rest of them, he could take them or leave them. I thought that was interesting. He really wanted Mal to think well of him, strangely. That's a shot that is a little uncommon, I thought you'd like. I just picked a few favorites that you may or may not have seen.
Some of these are the promo shots that Fox put out just before the show aired.
Okay, here's a, well, sorry, I'm getting to trivia early. This is unofficial trivia. So can someone tell me where this photo was taken?
Carrie just yelled it out in the back. What was that? No?
Actually, it looks Stargate. This is actually a house designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, the Enos House in Los Angeles. It's a really cool place. I went there and took photos of the outside. It was closed, so I didn't break in to take photos of the inside.
Don't want that.
And Adam does like his knives. This is a behind-the-scenes crew photo. And there is the knife he uses. And this is actually, if you want to go out and get one, it's a model 225 Patrick Henry Liberty Bowie made by Rough Rider. And Adam does like his knives. Yes, we know that.
There are a lot of behind-the-scenes pictures of him threatening the crew. There's so many of them.
They love each other. So, can someone tell me what the significance of this is? Knife, boots, hat, every t-shirt, bottles of mud, Jamestown statue head. Yes?
That's the stuff Adam stole when they canceled the show.
Yay, you're right. That's everything Adam stole when they canceled the show.
They actually had to do pickup shots for Jamestown, and he had to bring the head back. Because they went looking for it, it was gone. Like, where's the head? And he's like, I got the head.
And Adam was not being selfish, because I think he was thinking ahead, because Adam really cares about charity. And he's auctioned off all of the shirts, he auctioned off his Jayne hat, and he did auction off the head, all for charity. So, I have to give him credit for that. I just love that photo. And I wanted to just highlight some bits from some of the episodes, either some quotes or some trivia. So this is Serenity. Can't get paid if you're dead. Can't get paid if you crawl away like a bitty little bug, neither. Or our Mrs. Reynolds. Callahan, World War Auto Lock with customized trigger, double cartridge, thorough gauge. It's my very favorite gun. I'd like to own one too, actually. That's a nice close-up. What's your name? Well, we're about to find out here in a second. This is the best gun made by man. I call it Vera. And obviously, Adam really loves that. Followed by another frequently used gun, a LeMat revolver. This was from Out of Gas. And Ariel, where his badge actually says Kiki LaRue. But Ariel wasn't all laughs and humor. For me, it was really telling when Adam really redeems himself. Make something up. Don't tell him what I did. Sorry, I just started crying. And Adam talking about this, he said his character wasn't betraying anyone. He was doing it for the crew. But if he made a little money on the side along the way, great. He was doing it for the crew. But, and then of course from War Stories, I'll be in my bunker.
Brian, I'm going to interject because I got to do this. I totally forgot to do this at the beginning, and I better do it now, or we're going to have some trouble.
Uh-oh.
Everybody with a Jayne hat can participate in an upcoming trivia contest. If you have a Jayne hat and want to participate, write your name down on this pad of paper. We'll put it in a Jayne hat, and we'll draw contestants. Chris is going to bring this around. So if you have a Jayne hat and want to participate, or a chance to participate, hold it up in the air.
And in case if you ever want to visit Jamestown, it's on Higgins Moon around the planet Harvest. And this is how you get there, or at least what it looks like when you get there. Now, this episode was written by Ben Edlund, and he said, there's something, talking about Jayne, there's something about him that makes you not want to see him succeed, but you don't want to see him fail either. You don't want him gunned, you just want him punched. This must be what going mad feels like. Yep, that is Simon. And good old Wash. We got to go to the crappy town where I'm a hero. Oh, and another bit of trivia around the head that he stole and had to bring back. If you look closely, when they do a pan from the nameplate up the statue, you'll actually see a crack in the neck where they tried to reattach it. And the hero of Canton. Now, Ben Edlund, the episode writer, composed the hero of Canton. I would have guessed Greg Edmondson, but it was Ben Edlund.
Yeah.
And for those of you that own the DVD, and I think this is also on the Blu-ray. But
Yeah, have you all seen the Easter egg where Adam sings?
Yeah, that's awesome.
For those who haven't seen Firefly, there's this song called The Hero of Canton. Sorry.
It's really cool. And I thought this was another telling point in Adam's character. You people have been given the shortest end of the stick ever been offered a human soul in this craphill verse. But you took that end, and well, you took it. I guess that's something. Pretty poetic. And just to put a different spin on this, I thought we could look at a little bit of what Adam's day might have been like on Trash. So I got access to one of the actual production scripts, and Trash was directed by Vern Gillam, and thought this was kind of interesting. This is just one of the sheets you got if you were involved, directions to the shoot. They actually filmed at this Japanese garden in Encino, and evidently the crew had to park somewhere else and be shuttled in. And there off to the right you see directions to the nearest hospital. That would fill me with real confidence. But they probably legally have to do that. And cast of players that day, Adam was number 6. Looks like his makeup call time was 6:30, and the set call was 7:30 in the morning, so we had an hour to be in makeup. And this day, Tim Sitar's Jayne's stunt double was also there, and he started at 9:30. I didn't realize he had a stunt double.
It's for the explosions.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't like explosions. And just kind of interesting, some of the sheets here. So this was November 27th, 2002, stage 16 of Fox. And let's see, in Simon's room, River has Jayne's number. The infirmary, Simon lays it out for groggy Jayne. And then at the Dakota estate, looks like Jayne gets zapped and falls. It's interesting to see some of the production notes on this. And this is from the scene you're about to see in this script. Jayne, sure you're up to lifting this stuff? Crates are a fair heavy, I gather. The engines are humming and the bay rocks a bit as Serenity sets down. Kaylee nods enthusiastic. I can handle it. Wasn't talking to you. Jayne smiles at Simon, who mocks a pained expression. And that's some of the storyboarding with Jayne's character there in the top right. And this very happy scene for those of us watching in the infirmary. What? You got knocked out. Did we get payoff? Did we make money? Can you move your arms and legs? Jayne looks suddenly worried. Tries cannot move anything below his neck. They're not moving. Do you want to know why? He turns to Jayne, eerie calm on his face. How much did they offer to sell you out to me and Ariel? Me and River on Ariel. Jayne pauses. Now he's worried. That's crazy talk. Then let's talk crazy. How much? Jayne looking around. Is anyone there? River leans in from the doorway, looks at him calmly. It's not comforting.
The funny thing is the very first thing he asks is about the money, and later there's another episode where he's knocked down and he's all groggy. The first thing he asks about is the money.
Well, that's what's important. Okay. That hat looks so familiar. So I thought, here we go. Shauna Tripsick, that did all the costume design, she also did costume design on Dollhouse too. Jaws said it shouldn't look really stupid, but it should like a labor of love, talking about his hat. So I went to my grandmother's slippers that she used to make every Christmas. They are goofy because there are these knit slippers with this giant pom-pom on them, but I love them because they're from her. And that's how we were supposed to see Jayne's hat. And I just wanted to show you some of the different official and unofficial of the character Jayne we love. This is by 11th Hour. She did a lot of early guerrilla marketing, trying to get a film made. Beautiful artwork. Lux. South Park parody, and then Jayne Cologne. You'll be in your bunk. I don't think that's for sale, but maybe that's a project someone could start. And good old Jason Palmer, who is here at Comic-Con, he's illustrated so many great things, not just Firefly and Serenity. And then, of course, we have Dark Horse and their wonderful comic. And then we have fun things like cupcakes. Jayne's hat there on the top left. And I do have to say, too, Adam was generous enough to host my documentary, Done the Impossible. And a lot of the rest of his cast was there. Adam being willing to host this documentary for a bunch of unknowns, you had to know he had faith in the project and that he's a diehard fan. And I'll just love him forever for it. But I also put this up because at a convention I was at, someone asked him, with all of the things he's done, in what role is he most like himself? And he said, Done the Impossible, because it's him. And I just wanted to share this personal photo with you. If you have not met Adam, you owe it to yourself to go over and meet him. He might play a tough guy on the screen, but he is the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. I love the man. Which brings us to Serenity. This is Adam talking again. It was great to have that group back again because at that point we all appreciated what it was. It was probably the most fun job I've ever worked on. It was so sweet. Such redemption. And that was in 2005. And this was a lucky fan who got to be on set and be with Adam. And you probably didn't get a close view of this costume while Adam was worried about dying, but that's a close-up of the shirt. And that is the Amazing Head Bar costume. And this I thought was cool because I don't know that many people saw it. This was an official Universal promo. Jayne protects the crew. He's a mite unpredictable. And for those of you who weren't lucky enough to be there at the actual premiere at Universal City Walk in Hollywood, September 22nd, 2005 is when it premiered. That's when they had the red carpet premiere. And they were all there. I was lucky enough to be there. There was a glorious after party. Really wonderful thing. And that's the highlight of Adam's career, but I really wanted to say a little more about Adam as a person. So one of the things Adam is passionate about for charity is the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. It's a charity group that raises funds to send the children of fallen soldiers to school. So they've got a really good mission. And this is Adam talking again. I have been blessed through military roles to meet military men and women. My father was in the U.S. Naval Air Corps in World War II. My grandfather was in the Army in World War I. So I have a legacy. I did not serve, but I respect and admire those who do. I am a serious patriot, an American patriot. I believe that without our military fighting men and women, that our country would have fallen long ago. But they didn't allow that to happen. So I support and defend that in my civilian capacity as much as I can. So I love the military. I love weapons as tools of defending liberty, individual liberty, and freedom. And we love Adam. And now it's time for some fun trivia.
It's time to play You Don't Know Jayne. The following contestants appear up here at the podium. We have Colleen Thompson, Janet Carrilli, Kyle Severson, and Kelly Harper. Please come up to the stand. All right. I ask you some questions about Jayne to see how much knowledge you have about the character. Please pass a buzzer to each person.
Oh, is that what this is? Okay. All right. Buzzer.
Give me the white one. Okay, and if you can't answer these, we're going to turn them over to our studio audience. Please do not.
I didn't think I'd get picked.
First. Now, I know you've got a temptation to shout these answers out loud. Please don't. Complete this line. It smells like
Crotch.
correct. What is Jayne fired for the crew because he feels guilty?
Apples.
Correct. What is the most commonly quoted line attributed to Jayne?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll be in my bunk.
Correct. Why does Jayne agree to take the job during Heart of Gold?
I didn't hear the question.
We can't understand.
Why does Jayne agree to take the job during Heart of Gold?
Because of the hookers, the horse.
Because of the horse. Nothing take away nothing equals what?
Nothing.
Correct. What is Vera?
She's a gun.
Officially, what is Vera?
What's that?
We talked about it just a minute ago. What is Vera?
The name of it.
Turn it over to the audience. What is Vera?
That's the model.
Thank you. What happened to the original Jayne hat?
He sold it at charity.
Sold to charity. What is in the canned goods that River uses to knock out Jayne in the film Serenity?
Peaches?
Peaches. Where is the town of Canton located?
The what?
Town of Canton located. We were just talking about it.
It's on a moon around the planet Harvest.
That's a good answer. Hades Moon. True or false? Jayne fought in the war.
False.
False. What type of weapon is Jayne loading when the crew first encounters Reavers in episode 1? He's in his room loading a weapon. What is it?
Revolver?
No. We'll turn over the audience. What is he loading? A grenade launcher in a spaceship. He hates Reavers. Name any two of the three weapons that Jayne named.
The what?
Any three weapons that he named. You have Vera. I need one more.
Tonight
He named 3 weapons. Vicky, Boo, and Vera. Vicky's the knife, the pistol is Boo, and Vera's the gun. Jay was going to leave behind something for Simon River, but changes his mind when River says his name is a girl's name. What was it? What did he not leave behind?
Deck of cards.
Deck of cards, correct. What is Jayne's job aboard Serenity?
Public relations.
Public relations. When River cuts Jayne with a knife and says he looks better in red, why does she do it? Why does she cut him and say he looks better in red?
Say that again?
Why does River cut Jayne with a knife and say he looks better in red?
Because he's wearing a blue sun shirt.
He's wearing a blue sun shirt. If wishes were horses, we'd all be eating what? I didn't murmur. Stop murmuring.
I know this. I can't think of it.
We'd all be eating what? Audience? What is the chain of command aboard Serenity?
The chain you'll go and get and beat you with till you realize.
The chain that goes to beat people until they realize who's the run command. Exactly. What sports team is featured on one of Jayne's shirts?
Fighting elves.
The Fighting Elves.
I have that shirt.
All right.
What could Jayne stand to hear a little more of?
About Inara's female client.
No.
No.
About Kaylee.
About Kaylee and the battery operating something in her room. What is Jayne's memorized line when he poses as a medic?
We applied the cortical electrodes, but there was no neural response.
Close enough. You really want to call Tina when we practice it. I want to slowly crunch.
I was acting.
Jayne uses what utensil to eat apples?
A knife.
Yes. What kind of knife?
The one they showed us on the...
A switchblade.
Oh, I can't remember.
What does the hero can drink?
Does what?
Oh, the mother's milk? Oh, and that, no.
No!
Well, then yeah.
What was the
The
question?
finest whiskey in the house.
He drinks the finest whiskey in the house. What diversion did Jayne offer to make in Shindig?
What?
He offered to make a diversion in Shindig. What was it?
Get naked.
Get naked. What was Ross's response? No. What percentage did Jayne make standard before joining the crew?
7%.
7%. We debated that before the show. Adam Baldwin, this is an outside name question. Adam Baldwin is notorious for doing what between takes on set?
Getting naked?
What?
Practical jokes?
No, not on set, but in between takes. Audience? Frightening people with a knife.
We talked about that.
Anybody else? He used to change things in the background to screw with continuity. There's a computer aid on the bridge to move the magnets around in between takes just to mess up the camera work. What information does Jayne give up during the interrogation in Bushwhacked? Audience? Nothing. He just sits there folding his arm.
Oh, right.
Jayne is deathly afraid of what?
Sorry, what?
Jayne is deathly afraid of what? Audience?
Reavers. Oh, right. Duh.
What will Jayne kill a man over? What? Pretty much anything. It's a long list. He listed at one point. When Jayne is asking Brooke about sex, what is his last question?
Say it.
When Jayne is asking Brooke about sex, what is his last question? Audience? They don't cut him off for anything, do they?
say?
They don't cut it off or anything.
Which crew member does Jayne have a crush on, according to most fans?
You see what?
Which crew member does Jayne have a crush on?
That's you.
I didn't buzz.
Yeah, you do.
Inara?
No, audience.
Kaylee.
Jayne gets shot where in train job?
Like,
No, on the train. Yeah. And that's it. We come full round. And
Should I ask? No.
yeah.
Okay.
I almost asked this question.
What number did Adam wear as a kid when he was playing hockey? What number was on his jersey?
23.
Nope.
Nobody knows this.
26.
26. Thanks for playing. You don't know Jayne. You're out of time.